My friends and girlfriend betrayed me, but now they want back in. It all started a few years ago when I, along with my two closest friends, decided to take a leap of faith and start a business. We had been friends since high school, best buddies who shared everything, from secrets to dreams of making it big someday. Our bond was unshakable, or so I thought. The three of us, let's call them Ryan and Chris, had always talked about starting something of our own. We were tired of working dead-end jobs, living paycheck to paycheck, and watching our talents go to waste. We had skills, ambition, and an idea that we believed could change our lives forever. Our idea was simple yet innovative, a tech solution that catered to small businesses looking to expand their online presence. We spent countless nights brainstorming, coding, and refining our product. It wasn't easy, but we were passionate, and that passion fueled our drive. I poured my heart and soul into this project, often sacrificing sleep and personal time to make sure everything was perfect. I believed in what we were doing, and I believed in us. After nearly a year of hard work, things finally started to take off. Our product was getting noticed, and orders began to pour in. We were on the brink of success, something we had only dreamed about. We attended meetings, signed contracts, and celebrated each milestone as if we had already made it. Our friendship seemed stronger than ever, and I couldn't have been prouder of what we had achieved together. But as the business grew, so did the tensions between us. Ryan and Chris started to change. They became more focused on the money, the recognition, and the power that came with success. The camaraderie we once shared began to fade as they became more obsessed with controlling the business. They started making decisions without consulting me, sidelining me in important meetings, and even taking credit for ideas that were originally mine. At first, I shrugged it off, telling myself that it was just the pressure of running a successful business. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Then one day, the inevitable happened. Ryan and Chris called me into a meeting, but instead of the usual business discussions, they blindsided me with accusations. They claimed I wasn't pulling my weight, that I was holding the company back, and that they had decided it was best for everyone if I stepped down. It was as if they had rehearsed their lines, each taking turns to tear me apart. I sat there in shock, unable to believe what I was hearing. These were my friends, my brothers, who were now turning their backs on me. I tried to reason with them, to remind them of everything we had been through together, but they had already made up their minds. My name was removed from the business, and just like that, I was out. As if things couldn't get worse, my girlfriend Emma decided to drop a bombshell of her own. She told me that she couldn't be with someone who was a failure, and that she needed to think about her future. She was leaving me, and there was nothing I could do to change her mind. I was devastated. In the span of a single week, I had lost everything: my business, my friends, and the woman I loved. For a while, I was a wreck. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and the thought of starting over felt impossible. But as the days passed, the pain turned into anger, and that anger became the fuel I needed to rebuild my life. I wasn't going to let them win. I wasn't going to let them define my worth. I started small, working out of my garage with nothing but a laptop and a dream. I spent hours every day researching, learning, and refining my ideas. Slowly but surely, I began to build something new, something better. This time, I was going to do it on my own terms. I wasn't just creating a product, I was creating a brand, a company that would stand for everything I believed in. I reached out to old contacts, networked like crazy, and even took on freelance work to keep the bills paid while I worked on my new venture. It wasn't long before my efforts started to pay off. My new business began to gain traction, and the same small businesses that once sought out my old company were now coming to me. They appreciated the personal touch, the attention to detail, and the fact that I genuinely cared about their success. Word spread, and before I knew it, my new business was thriving. I had rebuilt what I lost, and then some. The best part, I had done it all on my own, without Ryan, Chris, or anyone else holding me back. Meanwhile, things weren't going so well for Ryan and Chris. Without me, they struggled to keep the business afloat. They were too focused on making quick money, and not enough on the quality of their product. Clients started to notice, and soon enough, their once successful business began to crumble. The contracts they had so eagerly signed were now falling through, and the reputation they had worked so hard to build was in shambles. I thought I was done with them, but life had other plans. One day, out of the blue, I received a message from Ryan. He wanted to meet up, to talk about the old times. I was hesitant, but curiosity got the better of me, so I agreed. We met at a small cafe, the same place where we used to plan our future over coffee and stale muffins. But this time, the atmosphere was different. Ryan looked defeated. Gone was the confident, ambitious guy who once thought he could take on the world. He confessed that things hadn't been going well, that without my input, the business had fallen apart. They were losing clients left and right, and Chris was talking about shutting everything down. He admitted that they had made a mistake by pushing me out and that they needed me to come back to help them rebuild what we had lost. I sat there, listening to him pour his heart out, and for a brief moment, I felt a twinge of sympathy. But that feeling quickly passed. I remembered how they had betrayed me, how they had tossed me aside when they thought they didn't need me anymore. I wasn't about to let them use me again, I told Ryan that I wasn't interested in going back to the past. I had moved on, built something new, and I was happy where I was. I could see the disappointment in his eyes, but I didn't care. This was my life, and I wasn't going to let anyone take that away from me again. I got up, paid for my coffee, and walked out, leaving Ryan to contemplate the mess they had made. But the story didn't end there. A few weeks later, Emma showed up at my doorstep. She was different, more humble, more apologetic. She told me that she had made a huge mistake, that she had been blinded by the allure of success, and had forgotten what really mattered. She wanted to get back together, to start over, and she was willing to do whatever it took to make things right. I could see the sincerity in her eyes, the regret for what she had done. But I also knew that I couldn't go back. She had left me when I was at my lowest, and I couldn't trust that she wouldn't do it again. I told her that I had moved on, that I was focused on my business and my future, and that she was no longer a part of that picture. She left in tears, and while it wasn't easy, I knew it was the right decision. Now, I'm running a thriving business, surrounded by people who genuinely care about me and my success. Ryan and Chris are still trying to pick up the pieces of their failed venture, but it's clear they're struggling. Emma, I don't know where she is or what she's doing, but I hope she's learned something from all of this. As for me, I've never been happier. I've learned that true success isn't just about money or recognition, it's about integrity, loyalty, and staying true to yourself. I've built something I'm proud of, something that no one can take away from me. And that, more than anything, is the sweetest victory of all. Here is a question for, if you were in my shoes, would you have given Ryan and Chris a second chance? Why or why not? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective.